And welcome back into a brand new episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brett Parnell.
And
And yeah, like you said, go ahead, Bruce.
I was going to ask you to go ahead and explain today's episode.
Sounds good. So this is becoming a bit of an annual tradition now for Tribal Council Chat. It's the week of both holidays. It's Canada Day, it's Independence Day. So we're just gonna play some Survivor trivia. And in this case, it's going to be 50 themed. I'll explain the premises of the game in just a second. But before that, I just want to bring up something for the audience. It was in 1961 here in Ottawa that President John F. Kennedy said the following: geography makes us neighbors, history makes us friends, economics makes us partners, and necessity makes us allies. So we just want to wish all of you a happy Independence Day, a happy Canada Day, and if it wasn't for the long-standing relationship between Bruce's country and my country, things like this show wouldn't be able to exist. Same as New Generation Challenge podcast.
Yes. And has Canada Day happened yet?
It happened a couple of days ago.
Okay. I think you'll laugh at this. I saw a meme today that was George Washington on it, and it said, "Enjoy going to work tomorrow, England."
That's funny.
I think I shared it, so it may pop up on your feed,
I'll look.
your Facebook feed. But
so last year we did our first annual Tribal Council Trivia Challenge over in between the two holidays, which was just one question from every season. Bruce, what is everybody in the Survivor community talking about for the last couple weeks and will be for the next year?
50.
That's right. So this is Survivor 50 themed for this year. What we've done is we've put one, instead of one episode question per season, we've put one question together for every player relating to the cast of 50, other than obviously the 49 people, because we don't know who they are. We all know who they are. But
We do, but we as a show don't want to go off of leaks because we don't want to
yeah,
get in trouble. So,
exactly. And also, even though if we did know who they were, we know nothing about them. So what does that matter? So it's going to be 22 questions each. I have a bonus question in mind, but that's okay. You don't have to have one. I didn't tell you that in advance. It just came to me when I was writing it. So you have an opportunity to get 23 points.
okay.
And at the end of it, we'll see who gets how many questions right and who's the winner this year. I don't
Last
even
time
remember
we did this, your questions were a lot harder than mine. I would like to point that out when people
Fair
go
enough.
back to that and
I've
see that
I've
I'm wrong.
tried to make some of them a bit easier. I'm hoping you've tried to make some of them a bit harder. We'll see.
I'm
It's
all
all just
over the
for fun.
place, honestly.
I am too.
Some of these
It
are simple. One of them in particular, I went really obscure with, but
nice. I mean, it's all just for fun. We don't really track a winner per se, but and
yeah.
I mean, until we get to the point that we get Kevin in here impersonating his best job of being Alex Trebek, where you and I are answering the same questions, there's no real point of having a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fun sometime, though.
I just remember last time I used Winners at War to troll you, and I'm still kind of proud of myself for that. But
Yes, you did. That was funny. I'm guessing you'll try to troll me again with something tonight with one
not
of these
trolling you.
players.
I have a bit of a troll move in my arsenal, but it will also make someone happy that has been on our show, and I'll explain that when we get there. So
Sounds great.
I have my list here in the orders that I came up with the questions. Let's start with Jenna.
Okay, perfect. Because I started with Jenna as well.
Honestly, I started with Jenna, but after her, I went to like the picture, the survival
Oh, okay.
Instagram page. It was just going back and forth across from bottom to top.
Sounds good.
So my names aren't really in any order besides that.
That's okay. We'll start there. My names will be, just so I can track it on my list, will be from like first contestant to 48, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I was gonna do that again, like we did with our cast reaction. I didn't feel like doing that much thinking during dinner, so
Fair enough. So do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Yes, so with Jenna, how many total days played?
How many total days played? So she went home on 38 days in All Stars. And then she went home eighth. So that would be 30, say 20 plus 66 days.
I had 65, but I'm double checking.
Oh.
I didn't count wrong.
I mean, I'm sure you counted right because that was a hypothetical guess. I mean, it was me trying to put numbers together as best as I could, but I'm sure you're right.
She went home on day 27. So let me pull the calculator.
Okay, yeah. No, you're right because I counted as 28.
Wow, you were really close. I'm kind of impressed you got that close.
All right. On to my turn. Also about Jenna. Jenna is best known for not receiving her video from home. What challenge will castaways competing in for said video from home reward?
A reward challenge.
No, what did they have to do?
Oh, well, if I knew a more specific answer, I wouldn't have given the obviously vague answer.
Okay, fair enough.
So
you don't want to take a guess?
Answer is I don't know technically, but I'm also saying reward challenge.
The answer is archery.
Oh, well, I was kind of right. It was a reward challenge.
Yes, that you are correct.
I'm not going to claim a point, but I feel like I was kind of clever and funny for that.
Yes, I did have a laugh.
So next up, Colby. You want to ask the first question this time?
Sure. Colby has a famous interaction with his brother in Heroes vs. Villains. What's Colby's brother's name?
Damn it, Reed.
That's right. Boos is on the board with one.
That's the full name. It's not just Reed. He said that whole thing, so I have to assume that's his name. What are you drinking?
Margarita.
Nice. That comes up in my list somewhere.
Does it? Interesting.
Oh, my Colby question.
Yeah,
right.
Your Colby question.
I'm smart. It just doesn't show, guys. Who did he throw a bucket of water at after losing a challenge?
I assume we're talking Australia here, and that would be Jerry.
It was.
So it is 1-1 after 2.
So 1 second, let me pull this back up. Sorry, I went to do something and lost my list for a second.
Oh, no.
Emily Flippin. So, what did she correctly predict would be next in the auction before it was even uncovered?
Oh. Chocolate cake.
No. So I believe the exact quote was, Kelly, it's going to be a margarita next. And
that's
when you
right.
pulled that out and said that just now, I had no idea that was the next question. I just knew that question was somewhere. And Kelly now Bandian ends up winning that margarita.
That she does. Kelly and Emily won that auction. Do you want me to just, how about this? I'll just jump to my Emily question.
Yeah.
Because I can access it quick on my list. All right, moving to an Emily question. Emily Flippin, season 45. Also from the auction, what covered item did Emily Flippin win at the first auction back since season 30?
Was that wine?
Those two main items. Wine is one of them.
What's the other one?
I'll give it to you, seeing that you remembered that. You get the point. But the other one would be a charcuterie board, so meats and cheeses.
Oh, nice. That sounds yummy.
It sure does. So, yeah, I'm going to give you that. That's close enough.
Cool. Do you want to take over the order next, since you have them in an order that makes sense and isn't just random to the
All
audience?
right. Sounds great. So our next question will be about Stephanie LaGrossa. If we go in order. Stephanie LaGrossa was on the Oolong tribe, statistically the worst tribe in the first 20 seasons. How many challenges did Oolong beat Koror in?
0, right?
How many challenges, not immunity challenges?
Oh, 1.
3.
Oh, okay.
They won 3 rewards, but Stephanie is famous for being the last woman standing on a beach all by herself. You're correct that they did not win immunity at all.
Okay, so I had 2 alternate Stephanie questions. So do you want number
Okay.
1 or number 2?
Let's go with number 2.
Did she take part in eating the magic chicken?
Yes.
Yes. Context, not actually a magic chicken. I just called it that. Some locals came and sacrificed it and did a whole ritual and said don't
I
eat it.
believe I believe the only one who did not eat the chicken was Rafe.
Probably. But these locals, they did this whole ceremony. They sacrificed it. They burned it. They said don't eat it, and then they left, and the people didn't listen, and they ate it, and it was a whole big thing. And then a storm came. So
Yeah, that's right. So that makes us, after 3 questions, at 2-2. Oh, sorry, after 4 questions at 2-2.
I think so.
Yep. All right. Do you want me to move on now?
Sure.
We're moving on to Suri.
Okay.
Over her long reality television career, Suri Fields has had many different places of residence on her bios. In which U.S. state was Suri born? You have a 1 in 50 chance.
Delaware.
Not too far off.
Delaware.
It's the survivor capital of America, New Jersey.
Oh, well, I shouldn't have guessed Delaware. Delaware's not real, but
I mean, I don't think anybody gets the question of who was born there as Delaware unless you're talking about President Biden.
Well, other than
and he wasn't. Wait, no, he wasn't even born in Delaware.
Other than him, who's lived in the D.C. area for so long for working there, when does anything you ever hear about anything happen there, or anyone being from there, or anyone going there? I'm not convinced it's a real place.
It is a real place because I've been in Delaware for 45 seconds.
Okay. Well, I was joking anyway, but
that is about
Delaware's real.
When you're driving from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C., the distance that you cross Delaware on the highway is about 1 minute.
Delaware, until 5 seconds ago, jokingly wasn't real, but it's still more interesting than anything in So, which, being from Missouri, I kind of just have this, and being a Missouri Tigers fan, kind of just have this beef against the state of Kansas. So I feel like every state has that state that they feel like is their rival, though. Because
now it clicked with me why we disagree on that question that we ask all our guests. Of course, you wouldn't support Denny. You have an inherent rivalry against the University of Kansas.
Oh, is she affiliated with KU? I just knew she was a Chiefs fan.
No, I think she said she was a Jayhawks season ticket holder or something.
I mean, gross, but I still like Danny. But no, think about this. And I'm getting sidetracked, but Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio, I feel like every state just has that state that's like their rival as a state.
Yep, that's for sure.
Ours is Kansas.
New York, Massachusetts.
Goes Missouri, Kansas not only is colleges, but goes back to Civil War related stuff that I don't know the whole story. But nothing in that entire state, though.
Hey, random conversations might come up in questions quite a bit tonight.
That happens anyway. I feel like they expect that. But, and I will say, I'm not saying there's nothing there because I don't like the state. I'm saying it because when we went to Denver, we drove across that state. And there
nice.
were but fields and windmills. And one Golden Corral we ate lunch at.
Well, the state of Kansas, this is not a trivia question today, but did produce something that makes Survivor what it is.
Probst.
That's right.
Nice. So
Phelps was born in Wichita.
my Sari question, and I feel like you're gonna know this. Who did she play on a season with twice, but never on a tribe with?
Who did she play on a season with twice, but never on a tribe with?
Yes.
No, that wouldn't be it. She played with Amanda. She played with Parvati. Instantly, my mind goes to it must be Amanda because it's you asking the question.
No, but she was on a tribe with Amanda.
I know, that's what I said. I'm just talking it out to myself.
Oh.
Would that be Rupert?
They were on a tribe together in Pearl Island.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah.
Rupert and Suey went on Pearl Islands together.
Sorry. I was thinking of the person that's the actual answer to this question.
Oh, Sandra.
Yeah.
I
thought
did not
that
know
was
that.
more common knowledge. Maybe that's more obscure. Maybe I wasn't as lazy as I thought I was.
That's okay. It was a great question. I like
My
it.
other question that I decided to not go with A because it was too you would have gotten the answer, and B I didn't feel like picking this specific fight with my instigatorness was going to be who did Suri play on a season with twice and place lower than both times, and the answer was going to be Amanda. But I didn't. I guess I did now, but I didn't feel like picking. I didn't feel like being an instigator on the Surrey front tonight.
Sure.
But I just did it anyway. So.
All right, next. Moving on to Ozzy.
Yes.
Ozzy lost by 1 vote at Final Tribal Council. Name 2 of the 4 players who voted for Ozzy.
Oh.
And as long as you name 2, it's okay. It counts. There are 4.
Was Parv one of them?
That's one.
Oh. No, not Penner. I'm just gonna. Candace?
Nope.
Oh, darn.
The other correct answers would have been Nate, Jenny, or Rebecca.
Nice. Rebecca is somebody I forgot about. Mine is a lot more simple. Who did Ozzy famously have a showmance with?
Amanda Kimmel.
Uh-huh. Okay, so who do we have next?
Next, we have Benjamin, otherwise known as Coach.
Oh, yes. Our good old friend Coach.
In 1997, then Benjamin Wade was attempting to have the Guinness World Records recognize him as the world record holder of what category?
I don't know. Most bizarre stories.
You're actually close because his bizarre story was this record. It's the world's longest solo kayaking trip.
Oh, of course. Who hasn't done that?
Which he kayaked from America to the middle of the Amazon.
Nice. That totally happened.
Well, the Los Angeles Times says it happened.
I think they did. Was it him or Philip they put on a lie detector and everything checked out?
I think it was Coach.
Okay. Well, do it to Philip also.
Yeah.
Let me find it. How did Coach give himself his infamous nickname?
Because he was a football, or as you call it, soccer coach?
Not quite. This has nothing to do with soccer. The nickname is Dragon Slayer.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you had the
thought you
wrong
meant the
nickname.
name Coach.
No, so where does Dragon Slayer come from?
Where does Dragon Slayer come from?
I forgot Coach was a nickname when I was writing this, I guess.
Fair enough. Did it come from, I want to say, Joe in Tocantins?
Voting out Brendan, who he had deemed the dragon for some reason.
Ah, makes sense.
Sure. We'll say that makes sense. I don't remember why Brendan.
It makes as much sense as you would expect from Coach.
Yeah, fair enough. Who do we have next?
Next, we go all the way from Coach to Aubrey because there is nothing in between in this season that CBS wanted to recognize, which they're not entirely wrong. When Aubrey,
the giant gap if you're representing the history of the show, but
yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's like when you think of players in there, you aren't going to get Tony, you aren't going to get Kim, you aren't going to get Sarah. What do? You maybe Andrea said no.
Sierra.
Andrea and Sierra are the two names that would have kind of fit that era perfectly. I don't think either of them either got offered or took it, but
yeah.
All right, so when Aubrey Bracco was first marooned to the Brains tribe, what job title did she have?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember.
It appeared on many confessionals because they gave her an unequal number of them compared to the winner. It was a social media marketer.
I agree. Her confessional should have been even more.
Her job title was a social media marketer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. See, we needed more confessionals so I could remember that. I went more obscure with this one than I did with most of them on my list. Let me find it. Who did she vote for at her last tribal council? Not like final tribal jury vote, but like her last tribal council as a player. Who did she vote for?
So that would have been an Edge of Extinction. She would have voted for Eric?
Wendy.
The tribe swap, right. I was about to say that. And I'm like, no, Wendy was with Lauren and Kelly.
Nice. I got one. I got him.
You got me. That was a good one. All right. Moving on to Chrissy Hoffbeck. in the premiere of Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, Chrissy is gifted an advantage from Ryan. What was it?
Was it one of those like half idol you have to share with someone things?
No. It was a super idol that was only valid at the first tribal council.
Oh, okay.
And we all know that season was all about giving idols to players who didn't really have to work for them.
I mean, you had, other than the one under the shelter, he had to work to find.
I know.
No, so this.
I just want Kevin to text us.
This is the question I told you that I was a bit of a troll on that will annoy some people, but will make someone that has been on our show a few times happy.
Yeah.
My question with Chrissy is, let me find how I worded it. What placement did she earn?
What placement did she earn? Second?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
So that's just me trolling the she should have won crowd.
Fair enough.
So Kevin will like hearing that, I assume.
Yes, he will. He'll like your comment more than my comment.
Which isn't usually the case, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Who's next?
Christian.
Where does he do his professoring at?
Florida International University.
Florida State University.
Oh, I know people from that school, and I forgot it 2 episodes in a row.
I also just invented the word professoring.
That's funny.
I don't think that's a word. I just realized that.
All right. For my question, because we mentioned that random discussions might come up.
Soccer.
Christian forms an alliance early in the game with eventual winner Nick Wilson. What was it called?
Mason Dixon.
Correct.
Nice. Also, soccer. Soccer's always the answer with you. Also, Canada does have cool football, though, because the CFL is wild if you watch it and you're not used to it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You can miss a field goal and still get points, I'm pretty sure. I forget how, but
Yeah, I told you that last year when you couldn't figure it out.
I saw it in a meme and sent it to you at one point. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
what?
It's not just if you miss a field goal. It's any time you kick the ball through the end zone, you can score 1 point.
That's right.
So, like, you can score a point on a punt.
It's wild.
I know.
Also, I don't know if I've said this on the show, but I did share this meme on Facebook. The CFL had an American team win more recently than a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup.
That's right. The Baltimore Stallions, I think.
Not that I'm trying to pick fights with you. That's just a hilarious stat to me.
There were a few Canadian CFL teams, one in Baltimore. American CFL teams. One in Baltimore, one in Shreveport, Louisiana, a couple others.
Don't give up. You guys will get the Stanley Cup eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The team that won it in 1967, they're from Canada.
Yeah, my Canada doesn't include that city.
Well, it's all one country. You don't get to define the borders single-handedly.
I mean, there's some people out there who think that they can just define international borders and names as they feel like.
Well, yeah.
All right. Next one is Angelina.
Gulf of America. Did I get it right?
No.
Oh.
Viva Mexico.
Well, if you had called it Gulf of North America, it would have made sense.
That would make sense.
Anyway, what's your question before I get our show canceled?
Angelina Cardona-Keeley. I'm going to give you a few hints in the question, so listen carefully. Angelina Cardona-Keeley, who is Latin American, had her first child in February 2020, coincidentally the same month as Survivor Winners at War premiered. What is Angelina's first daughter's full name? Think of Winners at War. That's her first name. What's her middle name?
Mexico?
No. I'll give you the point knowing Sophia. That's close enough. But you are correct. Sophia is her first name. Her middle name is Michelle with one L.
Oh, that's
notably.
That's okay.
Notably, there the Spanish spelling and the Italian spelling of two strong, independent females competing in Winners at War.
Nice. Mine is not that.
I am now stupid. I am moving my mouse around the screen when I'm trying to mark you as correct on my laptop, which is not connected to this mouse at all.
My question is not nearly as well thought out or clever. What did Angelina use a giant ladder for?
To find an immunity idol.
Yes, idol hunting. That is correct. Not as funny, though, as Winners at War when Tony built his own ladder that was super sketchy.
But also very funny in that episode when Angelina and Nick both want the money and the title of Sole Survivor and they're interested in idol hunting. Yet the next player we're going to talk about already has more than enough money that he can think about and doesn't really care and is far more interested in having a glass of red wine in the middle of Fiji as opposed to worrying about where the hidden immunity idol is.
See, if I was him though, I'm competitive enough, but like, yeah, I don't necessarily need the money. I just want to win. I want the title of Sole Survivor.
I would want the title of Sole Survivor, but still, idol hunting can wait 20 minutes. I would want to finish my spaghetti and wine if I'm in the middle of the jungle and with no food.
Yeah.
Well, as we found out from Tyson. As we found out from Tyson in Winners at War, sometimes food can be more advantageous than an advantage. When it came to using fire tokens to buy peanut butter, that was brilliant.
Very smart.
So all right, Mike White. So not only does Mike White have a career in entertainment, but Survivor wasn't his first appearance on reality competition television. What show did he do before?
No way you had the same question as me.
Well, I guess we both get a point today.
It's Amazing Race.
That's correct.
I literally put, what show did he compete on first?
Well, we both get a point.
Woohoo!
All right, ready to move on to Rick Devens?
Liverpool!
Liverpool.
Did I get the answer right?
No.
Oh.
But Liverpool. One of my favorite players passed away today, so it's a sad day for our club.
Sad.
Yeah.
They're retiring his number, though, didn't you say?
Yeah.
Nice.
First player in the history of the English Premier League to have their number retired. It's not a tradition in England.
That's wild to think about.
Because in England, it's normally a thing that, like, later players will want to wear the same number as famous players in their position in the same club.
Here too. It's just sometimes they get told no.
Fair enough. There's also a tradition in soccer of like numbers being associated with positions as opposed to actual players. So
baseball started that way.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, your right back is often a number 2. Your striker is always a number 9. Your secondary striker / attacking midfielder is a 10 or 11.
Is it always that way, or it just used to be that way?
In soccer, it's pretty much always that way with every club in the world, right? From, like, a semi-pro club in North America all the way up to Liverpool, United, Chelsea.
Is it only like that with clubs? Because I thought Alex Morgan wore, like, 13 or something like that.
I mean, probably for the national team, it's a bit different. I'm sure the players have a bit more say. And I mean, Alex Morgan can do whatever she wants.
13, I was right. Isn't there 11 people on the field?
Yep, there are.
Okay, so American soccer players just pick their number, I guess.
I guess. Maybe she's a fan of the same artist as you and I.
Maybe. But... So who do we have next?
Rick Devens.
Let me see, where is it? I know where it is. I know what the question is. I don't remember the answer.
Okay. Upon returning from the edge of extinction, who did Rick Devens give half of his immunity idol to?
Oh, David.
Correct. You are doing a great job with these tonight.
Well, you're not asking me the questions you asked me last year of, like, who was the contractor that poured the cement for their sidewalk?
I did not do that.
You did not, but it felt like that sometimes.
All right.
So, with Devens, how many days was he on edge?
He was on edge for 13 days. 6. Just a guess. 6. Done. We were just talking about Alex Morgan being 13, so that's where it came from.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right. Next is Jonathan Young, and this is going to be where you have the opportunity to earn 2 points. I have a bonus question in here.
Okay.
Jonathan Young was previously, before Survivor, on a Survivor-esque competition show for teenagers? What was it called?
Endurance.
Correct.
I saw it on the Survivor Wiki trivia part of his page that I was reading earlier today.
Ready for your bonus question?
Yes.
Let me just mark that as correct. Name the one other endurance contestant who went on to a career in reality competition shows.
I don't know.
Note the word career, not appearance.
Rob?
No. John A. Mannion of The Challenge.
Oh, nice.
She was on season 1, and Jonathan was on season 6.
Nice.
But you got 1 point there. Very well done.
Woohoo! Yeah. All right. What do we have? Oh, my.
Your Jonathan question.
I thought, yeah, I'm not with it tonight, I guess. Jonathan cast the only jury vote for who?
Mike Turner.
Yeah. Woo! Go, Mike.
We both score on our 42 question. Moving on, Emily, we've already done. So this question goes to one of your favorite players of all time. Dee Valladares is one of 3 players on this 50 cast to not be born in the United States. What city is she originally from?
Havana.
Correct.
I was literally that's the only city in Cuba I can name, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's the only main city in Cuba that's not like a... I mean, there's other cities in Cuba, but they're small cities. It's the only metropolitan city in Cuba.
So, which challenge did she win in the Split Tribals episode?
The challenge where you're holding up on a little perch like this.
It was this one.
Oh, so no, I'm wrong.
Yeah. It's
like on the pole?
Like, the one where it was raining on Winners at War and Nick was...
Oh, yeah.
Because Dee talked about her toe helping her win.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
All right, next we have Q. Q Burdett. Oh, go ahead.
What clothing item did he invent?
The Q skirt.
Yeah, which is just a hoodie backwards tied around.
I got something right today. Woohoo! All right, ready for mine?
Yeah.
Q Burdett played football for which NCAA Division I school?
Ole Miss?
Correct. We are almost done.
Nice.
Getting into the final 6 questions. And next we are moving from Q to Tiffany.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
What special power did Tiffany first discover in the premiere episode of season 46?
The Beware Advantage!
That is correct. And what did it become after?
And it became a lockbox. But then
it became an idol.
Yeah, it became an idol, but it became a lockbox first. And so mine is simple. Where did she place?
Tiffany placed 7th?
8th.
Aw. I should have looked that up.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from Q and Tiffany, we are now going to the third player from the season. Lots of 46 questions. And that's Charlie. But my question involves two players from this season. One of them's Charlie. After the season ended, Charlie and Ben attended two massive concerts together in the following year. Which two acts did they see live?
Ben Katzman's Degreaser.
Is that your guess?
No, it was Taylor Swift was one of them. I forget the other.
That's one. Think of the season.
I don't know. Was it fall?
Taylor Swift and Metallica. The same two bands that they were competing against to see how many songs they could remember.
Nice.
Or not bands. Taylor Swift is an artist, but you know what I mean.
I'm close.
The same two acts.
Who do we have next?
You have to give me a Charlie question.
I've done that 3 times now. I'm not very smart tonight.
It's okay. We're almost done.
Whose jury votes did Charlie get? There's 3 of them.
Whose jury votes did Charlie get? Well, it sure wasn't Maria.
I was going to say, there's one you know he didn't get because people never shut up about it.
I am going to say Liz.
Liz is one of them. Your favorite immunity challenge, Liz plays a key role in.
Yep. Venus?
No.
Okay. Who else?
Liz, Hunter, Soda.
Hunter and Soda. Nice. Okay. Moving on to season 47. We have one player here, and that's Genevieve. Genevieve Michalek cheers for which National Hockey League franchise?
You had to do that to me?
Yes, I had to do that to you.
The freaking Jets. And the reason that's I know right. That is because my question is, what's her hometown? And you're about to get the answer right.
Fair enough. That's funny.
Well, tell the people the answer, though, of what her hometown is.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
It is Winnipeg. And the reason I reacted that way to our audience is, as Brett knows, the Jets, I normally have nothing against them. I'm salty still because they not only eliminated my Blues, who's my favorite team in all of sports, from the playoffs in 7 games, but tied it with 1.6 seconds left in regulation.
Oh, that was crazy.
Still hurts. So I was depressed for the rest of that night. I think I texted, I think you and Kevin separately and just said, I hate everything. Because it went to double overtime, too. So that's funny. Good troll job, though. Well done.
Thanks. All right, so we both get a point there. Moving on to season 48, our last 3 questions. And I am starting with Camilla. Okay. When Camilla marked her parchment at Final Tribal Council, she drew a national flag when voting for Kyle. What country's flag did she draw?
I didn't notice she drew one, so I'm just going to have to completely guess here.
Well, the answer is in the premiere in addition to the finale. I'll give you a hint.
Taiwan.
No, Guyana. Note that Camilla and Kyle's alliance starts with the discussion of both of them being of Guyanese descent.
I forgot that. I had a strong guess that came from absolutely no reasoning, though.
Fair enough. It was a good guess.
How many individual challenge wins?
Uno.
3.
Oh, right. Challenge wins. Yeah, you got me.
According to Survivor Wiki, that's the number.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right, moving on to Joe before we end with the winner.
Yes, Joe shares a first name with how many Survivor contestants?
Half a dozen, like 6?
4.
4, nice.
Not counting Joel's.
Fair.
We have Joe Anglum from 30, 31, 38. Joe Hunter. No, sorry, Joe Dowdle from Token Chains.
Yeah. Joe Del Campo from Korong.
Joe Del Campo from Karong, and Joe Mina from Heroes, Healers, Hustlers.
Yep. Nice. My question is, and I think you'll know one of these at least. Hopefully, you know two, because that's the question. Joe is the fourth third place winner to get a vote at Final Tribal Council. Name two of the three others.
Third placers to get a vote?
Third placers who got at least one vote. It's only happened 4 times.
That's crazy.
I know.
I'm thinking through right now. What's her name? San Juan del Sur, Missy.
Correct.
That vote was her daughter, though, so I feel like that should be half a vote. But
it's still a vote according to the records.
Yes, it counts for one vote in the game. For this purposes, it should be half.
Right.
Let's see. She got one. That's all I can think of right now.
You give up?
I think so.
Ouch, I'm disappointed.
Oh, no.
Ryan from HHH was the second one.
I wasn't going to.
And the third was Amanda Kimmel.
When did she?
China. I thought that was the guaranteed one you would get.
For those not watching on YouTube, I'm banging my head against my metal water bottle right now.
That would be like me getting a Michelle question wrong.
I'm upset.
That's okay. It's just for fun.
I know. Not actually upset. I'm just acting.
And ready for the last questions?
Yeah.
Kyle Fraser shocked everybody, revealing that he practices law at Final Tribal Council. Where did Kyle go to law school?
Stanford.
No. That would be my dad's favorite, University of Michigan.
Oh, nice. Go Wolverines.
Yeah. Go Wolverines.
That must be fun for you two when them and the Fighting Irish had like a big football rivalry game every
year. Yeah, it was fun back growing up when they used to play every year.
They shouldn't have stopped playing
every year. They shouldn't have. We say that all the time.
Let me find Kyle. Oh. Who was Kyle on a swapped tribe with?
Swap tribe? Eva and Joe? I don't know.
Joe, Camilla, Shaheen, Thomas.
Nice.
And because you had a bonus question and I had 2 alternate Steph questions, I'm going to ask you my second Steph question after all.
Sure.
Who did her MLB pitcher husband finish his career with in 2017?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
The Boston Red Sox.
Oh! That's right.
I could get you on that one.
No, you got me on the Sox question, and I got you on an Amanda question.
I mean, the China one is still way worse, but according to Wikipedia, he was a Philly from 07 to 14, a Rocky in 15, and a Red Sox in 17.
Makes sense. Yeah, he did play there for a little while.
And then they won the World Series the next year when he wasn't there anymore. Very rude to not do that while he was there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm okay with it, though, because I don't love the Red Sox, if I'm being honest. I'm salty they've beaten us in 2 different World Series during my lifetime. So, but
I'm just going to say, me being in Canada over Canada Day weekend, on the top, while we bring up baseball, the Blue Jays just swept the New York Yankees on a 4-game set.
Judge will still win MVP somehow. He always does.
Yep, but now New York's not in first place. And while many Canadians get mad at me because I'm a Boston fan and not a Toronto fan, I'll cheer for two teams: the Sox and anyone who beats the New York Yankees.
I love that the Blue Jays aren't even like number two. It's whoever's playing against the Yankees. But
All right. Ready to do a line blindside for this boot before we head out?
yeah.
Okay, I am going to give you three names that did not that came up in my questions but did not actually are not actually on 50. So your options are Amanda Kimmel, Ben Katzman, and Nick Wilson.
Align with Amanda, blindside Ben because he'll take it well. First boot Nick because he's the only option left and he's the only winner.
Nice. I agree with all that.
So I got distracted. My dog's been playing with a ball and she dropped it and chased after it like I had throw it in.
Oh no.
So, three names. Let's go with obscurity here. And I gave you a list of Joes.
Yeah.
So you have Joe Dowdle from Token Cheens. You have Joe Del Campo. And I'm going to throw a Joel in there just so I can use Joel Anderson from Micronesia.
Okay, I am going to align with Joe Del Campo and hope that he doesn't eat too much food on a road and get evacuated. I am going to blindside Joe Dowdle, who was right around that point of the game, and from Token Teens, and therefore first boot Joel from Micronesia, who, if you saw him in a challenge, you don't want that guy on your tribe at all.
You mean you don't want to be Chet and just be dragged through an obstacle course?
No, I don't want to be dragged through an obstacle course while I can't stand up.
I believe there's an interaction between them where Chet says, I hit my head on that. And Joel says, I don't care. And Chet says,
That there
I
is
know.
one.
And the I know makes me so sad because Joel
Yeah,
was terrible to Chet.
he was.
But,
But he didn't make the merge, so that's what you get in those kind of situations.
that obstacle course is wild, though, that they had
It
those
was.
tied together. Joel's
I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult. You just work together one step at a time. Easy.
Or
But with
you just
Joel,
drag
nothing's
the
easy.
other person through it. I mean, that works
Yeah.
too.
Well, that was fun.
It was.
Well, hope you all have a great holiday weekend. And look forward to being back next week. And also, the cast is out. We have a date set, so look forward to the New Generation Challenge podcast returning this week. Well, not this week because this will air on Saturday, but like a week from when this airs.
Yep. And with that being said, check out all the Reality Realm stuff. BB Brain should be coming up super soon. That
I
show
hear the
starts
season
this next
starts
week.
soon, so
So
there we go.
I think that show's gonna start when they release their cast. So be
Yeah.
looking for that.
And sadly, Kelly Wentworth confirmed she's not on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I really never thought there was much of a chance of that.
I never did either, but I'm like, hey, they casted Suri, so why not?
Yeah, well, yeah. And with that being said, grab your torches and head back to camp. Bye, everyone.
Bye.